Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, the Topper Chef channel. Today we're going to make spaghetti squash soup. For this we gotta need, look at this, the squash. So it's pumpkin time, just before Halloween. There's a lot of different varieties of squashes and pumpkins, and a lot of people make pumpkin soup. So I'm gonna make a spaghetti squash soup. For this we're gonna need this whole squash. For the spaghetti squash soup, we're going to use the vegetable broth. And here is garlic and jalapeno chopped very fine. This is chopped cilantro. This is leeks, one whole long leek. This is 2 of celery, which has been chopped. And then about 3 carrots. All this will go sautéed, and then we'll put it in the broth. Let it cook properly, just like a normal stew. And then we're going to add our squash, which is in the oven getting ready, so we can add it to it later. Okay guys, so this is a spaghetti squash which I've cut clean properly. And as you can see, I've just put some fresh rosemary. Then I'm going to brush it with some olive oil, and then I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to put it in the oven for about maybe an hour or something like that, or lesser than that, but just observe it so it gets nice and mushy. And in the oven it's going to be at about 300 degrees, so this thing will get render itself really soft. And then once you can scoop it out properly, means it has cooked, and that's what we're going to add it to a soup. Now, why do we do this process? I could have just cut it in slices and put that. This gives an extra sweet flavor when it goes like this, like when it's roasted. So that's what we got to do before we put it in our soup. Okay, about 4 tablespoons for the soup of olive oil. We're gonna put 4 tablespoons of olive oil to saute all the vegetables, cook all the vegetables, and then we're gonna put the squash into it. So first is the leeks. Leeks are just like onions, so it gives a nice flavor to it. It's different. It's not as spicy or pungent like onions. So this I'm gonna add my flavoring. This is the only flavoring I'm gonna add. So this is garlic and jalapeno. So jalapeno will give a nice kick to the soup. And this is my chopped stems of what do we call the cilantro. So that is why I'm putting this first, because that needs to be cooked and it will render a nice different flavor to it. Okay, just let this move around. Cook this little bit till it sweats and gives it the aroma, the texture to the soup. Now, one thing about leek is you can't use the fleshy, the green part of the leek, because that's very fibrous. It's just like when you use different types of spices or anything like that. I mean, you gotta not use something which will be fibrous in the mouth. Okay, to this now I'm gonna add my carrots and chopped celery, which has been cut, not chopped. Move this around a bit. Same thing, sweat it a bit in the oil. You smell the vegetables sweating very well. Okay, so now this is sweated a bit. So to this I'm going to add my vegetable broth or vegetable stock. You can add chicken stock if you want to. And this is it. This is what I'm going to put and let it simmer for at least 15 minutes while it gets all its flavor and everything, and the vegetables get cooked. Okay guys, so this is how the spaghetti squash looks, and that's why it's called spaghetti. It doesn't mash up. So what you got to do is just scrape it off like this. Look, it looks really yummy and it tastes really great. So what we're going to do is scrape this off completely. This has been sitting in the oven for about an hour or so. So it gets a nice roasty flavor to it. Scrape it off, and then we're going to add this to our soup. So the soup, which has been simmering slowly, we scraped the spaghetti squash out from this. So what I'm gonna do is just add this to this and bring it again to a boil for about 10 minutes. So, and then our soup will be ready. So let me stir this. Now, I just tasted my soup a little bit, and I don't need any salt or no pepper in this thing because the jalapeno gave it a nice kick to it. And also the salt was, the vegetable broth was salty enough. So if you need to add more salt and pepper, do definitely taste it according to you want it. But this is good enough. Look at it. 10 minutes, this will get its flavor and we are ready to eat. Okay, so now our spaghetti squash soup has been simmering for about 10 minutes and it's ready. Okay, so I'm gonna plate my, look at that, it looks like noodles, just like, it looks like a chicken noodle soup, vegetable noodle soup, which you get it at restaurants. So there you go, like spaghetti, not like spaghetti, like vermicelli it looks like, okay? And so I'm gonna add little cilantro to it. Voila, here's our soup, it's ready. Okay guys, we are ready to taste our spaghetti squash soup with vegetables. When you taste, oh wow, it's really amazing. It's got a very unique, different earthy taste to it. The strands of the squash taste like noodles. Looks like noodles and tastes like noodles, crunchy. If you like this recipe, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, the Topper Chef channel. Happy cooking!